Hello everyone, it's Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today we're doing two puzzles actually, and these are European Jigsaw Jam puzzles, specifically the European Jigsaw Jam 149 and 150. I think this one's 149, this one's 150. Had that backwards. But these are puzzles done, basically the SpeedPuzzling.com's version over in Europe, and it's called European Jigsaw Jam, or EJJ for short. I have done one in the past, and it was that Bambi puzzle, and I got 11th place. But that was back in October of last year, and I think they were still kind of getting their feet underneath them. They weren't as popular as they are now, and they definitely have exploded since then. So I was pretty happy with my results. I kind of landed where I normally was, kind of in that top 15. And so I was like, okay, I guess comparing to the European side, I'm kind of in that same area. Well, I would say that's probably not the case anymore, because there are some extremely fast puzzlers over in Europe, specifically Poland, Germany, I think Belgium has a few. Just a few people over there are extremely fast, aka sub 35, aka sub 30. And I've not even touched those times yet for a first attempt. So what I have here are the two puzzles that I've borrowed from Christina, because she started to do the EJJs. And since they're at home and you can do them by either live or you can do them, recording, and because we're on the US side, the time zone does not quite work out for us because it's the European time zone. And so either it's like at noon on a weekday when I'm at work, or it's like 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night, which I think would be kind of fun. I'd like to do it at least once, but at the moment I need to practice before I add sleep deprivation to it, basically. But Christina let me borrow these. She did participate in these two contests, and so I'm going to do both of these for this video because I'd like to, at the end, kind of go over all the EJJs I have right over here in the corner and go over what contests I'll be participating in. And so I actually did do my first EJJ with Christina as a pair, and we got 16th place out of 121. That is a short, and it was basically two 500-piece puzzles we had to do back-to-back. And honestly, not too bad for our first showing, but we definitely have some work to do. We gotta work on our strengths and kind of try to recover from each other's weaknesses. And I think that, first place was about 10 minutes faster, so there are some places we need to work on. But I really do think for our first attempt at an EJJ pair, it was a pretty good time. Now, the goals for these puzzles are going to be a little different. I've been looking at the times, and part of me gets discouraged because I'm like, I know where I'm sitting at time-wise. My average is slowly going, down. I'm getting faster, but I'm like, how that feeling is if you're not getting fast enough. And I'm my own worst critic with this, and I've got to kind of give myself some leniency. I'm a very consistent speed puzzler. I'm very consistently in that low 40, starting to leak into the under 40. But I'm very, I have a tight window where my times land. I don't have a very much of discrepancy when it comes to in-person versus Zoom, or it's more of, I'm not too far off from a fast, harder puzzle versus an easier puzzle. I'm kind of in that area. A 500-piece puzzle, I stick around the low 40s to the sub 40s now. And I'm just very consistent with that. A lot of these super fast people are also not as consistent, but they also are sub 35, and some of them are starting to just be under sub 30 at this point. And not just one or two times. They're starting to get, wouldn't say regularly under 30 minutes, but more often than not. And so I don't want to rush myself into trying to get under sub 30. I think that's a bad move for me, because if I try to do that, and that's knocking 10 minutes off my time on average, I'm going to be very frustrated with myself, and that's just not the appropriate way to do this. Do I want to get a sub 30? Absolutely. And I will probably get it one day, just not at the moment. I don't think I'm there yet. If I get it, great, but I do not think I'm there yet. I've done it on a 15th attempt at a specific easy puzzles. I know how it feels to get a sub 30, but I don't think it's going to happen on a first attempt. And these puzzles here, I'll kind of give you a couple stats. But my goal here with this is really just to kind of eye the competition, comparing to my times. And I do think I'm still in that top section. I'm just, again, what I call the worst of the best. I'm at that bottom, that bronze tier, where I think I'm landing with the super fast puzzlers. And so, looking at their times, is it an easier puzzle and it just simply was going to their strengths? Are they simply memorizing the piece cut? I know it's possible that some of them have memorized the Ravensburger piece cut, which makes sense as why some of these times are so fast. And I haven't done that. I haven't put that work in. And I do think some of them practice a lot more than I do. I do make an effort to do as much puzzles as I can, but I have a life outside of puzzles, and I, been busy with other things, and I can't, 100% dive into it as much as I would like to. So I do think that there's some things going against me. I could be better faster if I did certain things, but I'm not trying to kill myself over a second or two here and there. So, all right, enough rambling about how I feel about my times and all. So, we'll go ahead and go over the two puzzles you have in front of me. This one is called Windy Wonderland, and it is actually by EJJ's brand. They actually have created their own puzzle brand, and it's called SpeedPuzzle.Eu. So this is their brand that they're making specifically for the contest. The lady who runs it, Michelle, she's just created her own puzzle brand, and it's gotten so big that they've been able to do that, which I think is pretty neat. I think that people who speed puzzle, who make puzzles, kind of know what speed puzzlers like and what's good for them, what's easy, what's hard, what's challenging, what could throw you off, things of that nature. So I think that's actually kind of neat. It also makes it easier for new release puzzles, so no one has the opportunity to do it before. So I think that's actually kind of cool. And it does make me want to do more EJJs, because new releases are always great to have. So this one, Windy Wonderland's 500 pieces, and they did it two ways. Since the World Series came out, the Unbox Challenge has become a thing in speed puzzling. So they did it, you can either do it as an unboxed, or you could do it as you have the picture in front of you. So I believe Christina did it with the picture in front of her, and she did this at 33 minutes and 5 seconds, which is amazing. Like I said, Zoom Christina is amazingly fast. She can sort, she can just get all her pieces spread out, space it up, and then just get sections done incredibly quickly. And I think that's probably what she did with this one. I don't see her video, so I'm just making an assumption based on how she puzzles. But I think she probably sorted the colors here and just simply put the sections together quickly. I think that's probably how she approached this puzzle. So that's a sub 35 time, which I have not yet done. My PR at the moment on a first attempt is 37 minutes and 21 seconds, which was the Rainbow Rascals puzzle. And so to beat her time, I'd have to get a PR. So my goal with this one is just to be under 40 minutes. I don't think I want to be under 35. If I were to predict, I'll probably be about 38. I think that's where I'm going to land with it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do the border first, because it is a gradient here, but it's possible I might do the border first. If not, maybe try to do a full sort. But my sorting speed is very iffy. So I don't know if it's a good idea. At least it might be okay this is a practice round for EJJ, so I might actually give it a shot. But that's my goal with this one. I'm going to try to be under 40 minutes. Surprisingly, the first place person on the normal one did it in 30 minutes and 33 seconds. And that was Jagoda, which I think is also now kind of on Victor's level. I've seen their name come up a few times, and they have incredibly fast times. However, on the Unbox Challenge version of this puzzle, Kristen did it in 28 minutes and 11 seconds, which is very impressive because she beat everyone who had the picture in front of them. So I don't know how that happened. I have only done the one Unbox Challenge with the World Series, and it didn't go as well for me as I would have liked. I have learned some lessons from that, and so I do plan to do some more Unbox Challenges in the future for practice purposes, because it will most likely appear in the next year's World Series. So, goal is to be under 40 minutes, and that would put me in the top 13. So I think if I do that, I should be doing all right. All right, so that's Windy Wonderland. And then this one is EJJ 150, and this one is called Windy Essaouira. Essaouira? I'm mispronouncing that. I apologize. And I guess it's a windy version. I guess you got two windy puzzles here. But this is not their brand. This is actually called Olleo, and I guess it's designed in Belgium, made in Turkey, illustrated by Mathilde Garcia. So that's the artist here. And this is a little bit more kind of my style of puzzle, I think. This one is going to be busy too. I might do pretty good with this one. These two kind of are my jam a little bit. European Jigsaw Jam. That was a bad joke. Anyway, this one is going to be, I don't know. The sky is going to be pretty daunting because it's a big chunk of the puzzle and it's a gradient. So I might be kind of slow on this top section here. Again, I'm going to try to do the same goal with this one. I'm going to try to be sub 40 on this. And the first place time was 29 minutes and 53 seconds by Jagoda. So again, another sub 30 minute time. As you can see, there's a bit of a pattern here. Sub 30s are pretty common in these European Jigsaw Jams. If it's a puzzle, is relatively easy to moderate. Now, there have had some difficult puzzles where everybody was over 40 minutes. So obviously, everybody shifts. But if it's an easier puzzle, people are getting up to that 30-minute mark. Boy Wonder from Houston also are doing these puzzles, and so he's also been getting sub-30s close to that 30-minute mark as well. So yeah, you can see where now my competition needs to go. I am going to slowly start moving to the sub-35, but until I start getting under 40 minutes more consistently, I can't push myself too much. Now, this puzzle Christina did in 34 minutes and 51 seconds, which got her 8th place. I don't know if I mentioned, but she got 3rd in the normal section. The unbox was a separate group. And again, sub 35, going to be very difficult for me to do. I don't think I'm going to make that with the sky, unfortunately. I might even have a hard time getting sub 40 on this. I think I'm going to be about 41, 42 minutes on this one. I don't think I'm going to make my goal on this one. I do think I'll make it here. I could be wrong. I could switch it. I could do both. I could do neither. Who knows? So those are my puzzles that I'll be doing today for the European Jigsaw Jam. I'm going to do some practice puzzles that they've done before, and that way I kind of maybe can see, you know, especially their brand of puzzle, kind of see where I kind of match up with everybody. And that way I have a good idea of the official competitions I have paid and gotten from Europe. And so I'm kind of excited. So along with the solo puzzles I'll be doing, there is another pair puzzle I'll be doing with Christina, and then there'll be a team marathon that I'll be doing with Christina, Shay, Melinda, Jessica, and Kinsey. So it'll be the 6 of us, and it's kind of similar to the 12-hour marathon in California, where you have 4 people puzzling at once, and then you have 2 people on the side. And then I believe it is 2 500 pieces and 3 1000s, and you have 5 hours to complete it. It is not live. You simply record your video and submit it onto YouTube. And again, a lot of these European Jigsaw Jams, there's what they call Flex, which is basically you can do it offline, record it yourself, or you can do it online on their Zoom call, which they have a pretty good system set up. I'll also link their YouTube channel below, but I really do want to do one live one day. It'll probably have to be that Sunday night at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I really want to do it live once. I think it's just something I have to plan out. They do thankfully let you order all these puzzles way ahead of time. So I've ordered a few of them that are like ones in September. I also will be doing a puzzle that I did get from the bundle from European Jigsaw Jams. Along with their competitions, they do have competition puzzles and puzzles that they kind of have in their collection. They also had the World Series puzzles available to buy. And I did get one of the prior competition puzzles that was actually from their 50-plus competitions. They have 3 speed divisions, basically. So 50-plus doesn't mean age. It is 50 minutes or slower. So people who don't, maybe probably average an hour for a 500-piece puzzle don't have to compete with the victors. They don't have to compete with people who are doing these under 30 minutes. And I think it's a good way for, during the live competitions, the people who are running it, they can actually have a better way of tracking who finishes first, because I think they have like sometimes 100 to 200 people on this call, and that's a lot of people for them to monitor. So they've tried to organize it based on how fast your average is, basically. And then you have the 35 minutes to 50-minute group, which is where I would fall. And then you have sub 35, which is probably your super fast people, Victor, Boy Wonder. Christina's fallen into that category. And so I do think that I'm in that, I'm in the lower tier of the 35 to 50, but I don't think I'm not in the sub 35s yet. I wouldn't say I'm close, just not there yet. So I've explained a lot about the European Jigsaw Jams. YouTube and their website are linked down below for more information. It is a little bit expensive to order from Europe because of, shipping costs. But one thing we have found out is we can order as a group. So Kinsey, Shay, Christina, and I have been ordering as kind of a group of 4, so the shipping fees are a lot cheaper if we split it. And it just works out much better that way, and that way we can all coordinate and get each other's puzzles. I picked them up from the showdown, so it worked out really well. Now, I'm debating which one to do first, but I think I want to just do it in order. This was 149, this was 150. I'll just do it in that order and see how it goes. So, European Jigsaw Jams, 149 and 150. Let's smash them. Well, we have some good news and some okay news. I'll start with the okay news and then I'll move on to the good news. So first things first, I did both of these puzzles back to back pretty much. I did this one in the afternoon and then this one in the morning the next day. So I do think that might have kind of had an impact on at least this puzzle because I'm not a morning person. But I think my predictions were spot on. I predicted I would do Windy Wonderland in 38 minutes, and I predicted I would do this one in about the 41-42 minute range. And so, you know, my predictions seem to be pretty spot on at this point. I'm kind of enjoying how I'm gauging my times a little bit with this. Maybe if I say I can do a sub 30 and it'll make it happen, probably not. That's not how that works, unfortunately. But I think I am getting in tune with my tactics, my abilities, and I'm really starting to figure out, you know, where certain puzzles land in my time frames. And so it's really starting to kind of, the pieces are starting to fall into place, basically. Let's go ahead and start with the okay news, which would be this one, Windy Essaouira. And this was EJJ's 150th, and I knew the sky was going to slow me down, but the fortress actually tripped me up a little bit too. I'll start at the beginning with this one. I started with the border. I actually really did the pots at the beginning. I kind of sorted that out, did that really quick, and then did the border. And I was moving so fast at the beginning. The pomegranates came together really quickly next, and then the water, and then the boats slowed me down just a tad, but not enough to really mess me up or trip me up. But once I got to the fortress, I slowed down. So I think I was pretty much over halfway done with the puzzle, about 25 minutes in. So I really felt confident I would get a sub 40 time if I had kind of maybe moved a little faster with the fortress. But ultimately, I finished it in 43 minutes and 45 seconds, which isn't bad. Time-wise, it's kind of falling in that lower 45-minute range, which is my goal, which is my pieces per minute goal. And so the time itself isn't bad. But how does it compare to everyone else in the EJJ competition? So they had the results split between Flex and Live. And Flex, again, is where you basically film it offline. You don't have live competition. You just film yourself and post your results in a private YouTube video. And then the Live, obviously, is their Zoom live call that everybody's doing the same puzzle. So that's how they split the results, but they do actually combine everybody in one result page. They don't do that with the unbox, which I'll get to in a minute. So they do have 3 basic result pages for it. So they have the Flex, the Live, and the Overall. So I'll kind of go where I placed on all 3 of them. So for the Flex, which is what I would have done because I wouldn't have done this live, I would have placed 17th out of 96. Kind of on the lower end of where I'd like to be at, but still in the top 20. So, okay. For the Live, I would have been 22nd out of 84. So kind of moved back down a little bit even so in that group of competitors. And then finally, I was 39th place out of 180 overall. So that combines the Live and the Flex competitions. And so that definitely tells me that I cannot really be over 40 minutes for EJJs if I want to be in that competitive space. I think that EJJ, it's even a much more tighter competition. People are doing sub 35, sub 30s pretty regularly. And so not being sub 40 is detrimental to my placement. So I love the puzzle, by the way. I know I have talked about the placements and the times and everything, but I really did love this puzzle. I had such a fun time with it, except for the sky. The sky kind of tripped me up. It was kind of a gradient with the light to dark, and you had the cloud here, and the birds kind of broke it up a little bit for you. But yeah, there was a lot of, you know, solid colored pieces, and gradient is not my strength. But it was a very fun puzzle to do, especially the bottom part. I really did enjoy the bottom part. I was booking it pretty good with that. I love the feel, no glare, very soft, velvety pieces. So this was actually the brand Olleo, and I do think they might actually make EJJ's puzzles, their brand specifically. At least very similar, like the piece shapes look very similar to Ollie's here. Like the knobs have this kind of crookedness to them a little bit. I don't know how else to explain it. It just kind of looks crooked when I'm looking at it. So that was the okay news. Now for the good news. I got a new PR. I did this puzzle, Windy Wonderland, in 37 minutes and 14 seconds, which beat my PR of 37 minutes and 21 seconds, just by 6 seconds, from the Rainbow Rascals from Ravensburger. So very happy, was really thrilled, and I had done this one first, and so I went into this one with some confidence. And then I kind of got crushed a little bit with my time on that one. But again, I kind of knew it was going to be the slower one. So I'm not going to beat myself up too much on it. But this one was so fun. Pick and place dream. The border was so fast. I think I got that border done in under 8 minutes, if I remember right. I might be a little bit off, but I was definitely well under 10 minutes. I was already sorting this big kite guy here once the 10-minute mark hit. I was just moving on this one. And again, there was a sense of I might get a sub 30. Like, it kind of crossed my mind. And the fact that that happened with the Air Balloon Valley and this one tells me I know how to get under 30 minutes. It just, I get tripped up somewhere along the way, and I don't quite get there. Lately, it's been the middle of the puzzle and sort of the end. I've been really improving the beginning of my puzzle. I'm flipping all the pieces, I'm sorting the border, and that has chipped away minutes to get me under 40 minutes. But something's still boggling me kind of in the middle of the puzzle and towards the end, which would keep me over 30 minutes or 35 minutes. So, you know, if I can start kind of chipping away at these issues that I'm having, I'll start moving my times down even further. So I have started to notice that a little bit. But this one just came together so quickly. Had a lot of fun with it. Very good pick and place. It was kind of also a gradient because it went from green, yellow, red, pink, and purple. And the sky in the background too. This kind of area was in the purple in the back. And so, honestly, really happy about this puzzle. Again, I'm borrowing these from Christina's, so I kind of wish I had gotten this one. I might buy it from their website when I order my next batch of EJJs. So, where would 37 minutes and 14 seconds have placed me in the EJJ competition? So this one they had split between normal flex competition, so again offline, and unboxed. So they can't really combine those times because an unboxed competition is different than if you have the box in front of you. I do think times are usually slower with the unboxed because you don't have the image, and I think ultimately you have to figure it out, and I think that takes a little more time. Surprisingly, the unboxed side of this was the fastest time of 28 minutes and 11 seconds by Kristen, and so I do think that it's kind of an interesting aspect. Maybe she just saw the image a little bit easier than everybody else, but I did have the box in front of me, so I did not do this as an unboxed. So while my time would have gotten me 5th place in the unbox, it's not a good comparable time. So I quickly went to the flex option to see the results and see where I'd have placed. And Christina had done this in 33 minutes, and she got 3rd, so I thought there would be a lot more people between 33 minutes and 37 minutes. Surprisingly, there wasn't. I would have tied with 7th place. There was someone else who did it in 37 minutes and 14 seconds. So top 10. That's amazing. I would have been extremely happy with that result in the EJJ competitions, knowing how fast some of these puzzlers are over there. And while Christina beat me on both times, I got a sub 40, I got a new PR. I'm happy with that. I think my times were good. This one, I definitely need to be improvement on a little bit, but I am very happy to say I am in that competitive space with the EJJ puzzlers, along with the US puzzlers, with all the competitions I do with them. So, what is my plans for EJJ? Well, I got more puzzles! I got more EJJ puzzles to be exact. And yes, they are wrapped up like gifts, which I really do like that they do that. It kind of feels like you're opening a present. So yes, I bought 4 EJJ contest puzzles for the future. So I'll go over each of these. And again, I'm not opening them in front of you because if I open it, I have to film it immediately. So I'm not going to open them today. They will be in a future video. So the first one I have here is EJJ 158. And this is actually a pairs unreleased 500-piece puzzle, I believe. It doesn't say 500. So, I don't know. I think it is a 500 piece. I don't think it's 1,000. And so I plan to do this with Christina, and I have to do this by August 26th, which is actually kind of a short time frame. So I'll have to figure that out with her. But yeah, she did the other pairs twice as nice competition. She had bought that with her batch of EJJs. So I'll be doing that with Christina, which on our twice as nice, we got 16th place out of, I think, 121. So, not bad. Top 20, pretty good results. I think if we start getting the sub 25s on each of our 500-piece puzzles, we'll start moving up there. And that's kind of what we need to work towards. So that'll be our pairs competition. And again, I'm not sure if I'm going to do these in full videos or if I'm going to do them as shorts. I probably will do at least one of these EJJ as a full video, and I'll probably go over my results for all of them. So this one will be done on August 12th, which is coming up actually pretty quick. We might have to work on that and see what we can do. I would hate for us not to be pair up, but I might have to, I don't know, I'll have to get with Christina on that. That's coming up pretty quickly here. And this one is EJJ 163, and then the next 3 here are going to be my solo competitions. And this is an unreleased 500-piece puzzle for September 6th. And I believe, again, if it's unreleased, it's going to be kind of one of their own competition puzzles where they have their own artists and they kind of make their own puzzles, basically. So that'll be kind of fun. I love the little dinosaur wrapping paper. It's very cute. And then this one is EJJ 169 on October 7th, 2026. This is in European style, so my brain is like July 10th. You know, American brain here, what can I say? So October 7th. So that one's a little bit far out. So I'll probably have some videos out in the future for them. I'll probably pre-record them well before their competition dates, but I can't publish the video until after the competition date is aired, so that way I don't spoil it for everybody else. And then this one is October 20th, also an unreleased one. Actually, they're all unreleased, so hopefully they're all very pretty images. And this one is the sub 50 club, so that would be where you basically sub 50 minutes, so that's where I land. Yep, so those are going to be my EJJ competitions for the future. I am looking forward to doing more of that. I also bought a puzzle from them from their store, and that'll actually be on my next video, and I will go over that one there. But that is my plans for EJJ. I will kind of do them sporadically alongside the SpeedPuzzling.com competitions. That way I kind of fill the void of not doing a lot of in-person competitions for a little while. So the next in-person competition I'll be doing will probably be the Spooktacular in October. So there's going to be a bit of a big gap between, you know, that one and then, of course, between that, the Spooktacular, and then the Nationals. So, you know, these Zoom competitions are going to kind of fill in that time for me a little bit. So I'm excited for the new EJJ puzzles. So yeah, they'll be kind of published sporadically and, of course, after the competition date. I just want to say, once again, thank y'all so much for watching. I know I have been a little behind on replying to comments, but I really do appreciate every single one of you who've been watching, commenting, liking, and the subscriptions. And so I am just happy that y'all are still here, especially the ones who've been here since the beginning, the new people, and of course, everybody in between. So I will get to replying to your comments as soon as I'm able to. I've been a bit behind on a few things, but I really do appreciate everyone who's been enjoying my channel. So I'm looking forward to, you know, doing different things, different types of puzzles. I'm going to try to get my streaming started as soon as I can. And you know what? Just share for the love of puzzles. Enjoy speed puzzling. Maybe even try to throw some casual puzzling in. I don't do it very often, but I really think that it is something I want to actually sit down and enjoy a puzzle without the clock being on me. But, you know, I'm very happy that this has turned out to be quite the adventure. And so, you know, it's been over a year now, so looking forward to the next. Alrighty, well, as for Windy Wonderland and Windy Essaouira, I think we smashed them. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!